I promised you Berlin, Joseph. Did you doubt me?
If I did, I would kill you.
How better to show you my love and to give you a city for your birthday.
I could think of a few possibilities. Yeah. What?
Some things you are not cleared to see. Come, we are late for the briefing.
What is so important you interrupt a private briefing, Gradenko? Oh, you waste our time with magic shows?
This is Elba Island. Reconnaissance detected an Allied transport landing. Our agents went there, saw this, shot the videotape, and then nothing. It hadn't moved. We would have caught them. It simply disappeared.
Show me again. It's impossible. Whole units. I must know what can do this, Nadia. If it is a weapon, I must have it.
It could prove a formidable companion to our Iron Curtain project.
Iron Curtain?
You don't need to know about this, Comrade Kukov. Do we control Elba Island?
The area's resistance continues to offer the Allies support, but we have been dealing with these...
No excuses, comrade. We need that island. No, Gradenko. You stay. Send the captain to handle this.
Use our subs to keep more Allied units from landing and eliminate our enemies from the island.
Unit lost. Building. Our base is under attack. Construction complete. New construction options. Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. Very
Building.
well.
Training.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Affirmative.
Training. On hold.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Cancel.
Reporting.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. Reporting. Very well. Very well. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once.
Reinforcements
Affirmative.
have arrived.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Ready and waiting.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. On hold.
Agreed.
Cancel.
Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative. 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 At once.
Construction
At
complete.
once. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have
Agreed.
arrived.
Very well.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Yes, sir. At once. Reporting. Affirmative. Very well. Reporting. At once.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Very well. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. At once.
Unit lost. Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Agreed.
New construction options. Building. Building.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Very well.
Our base is under attack.
Affirmative. At once. Yes, sir.
Preparing.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. Awaiting orders. Agreed. Agreed. Reporting. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. At once. Of course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. Yes, sir. Very well. Yes, sir. At once. Of course. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Of course. Affirmative.
Unit
At
lost.
once. Affirmative. At once. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Agreed. Of course. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Construction
Reporting. Very well.
complete. Our base
Affirmative.
is
At
under attack.
once. Yes, sir.
Preparing.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Of course. Yes, sir.
Unit
Very well.
lost. Building. Building.
Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Agreed.
Unit
Ready and
ready.
waiting. Agreed.
Building. Insufficient
Reporting.
funds. Unit lost.
At once. Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Very well.
Construction
Yes, sir.
complete. Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Very well. Yes, sir.
New construction options. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Agreed. Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. At once.
Unit ready. Building.
Very well. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Reporting. At once. At once. Yes, sir. At once.
Unit
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit
At once.
lost.
Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Very well.
Unit ready. Building.
Ready and waiting. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Report. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir.
Building.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Reporting affirmative. Agreed at once. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. Insufficient funds. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Reporting affirmative.
New construction options.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Yes, sir.
funds.
Affirmative. Awaiting affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Repairing. Unit repaired. Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Comrade.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Ready
Insufficient
waiting.
funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Report. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Comrade. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Naval unit lost. Naval unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired. Repairing. Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Comrade.
Unit repaired. Naval unit lost. Repairing.
Yes,
Insufficient
sir. Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged. Waiting order. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Unit repaired.
Waiting
Yes, sir.
order.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Comrade.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Comrade. Affirmative. Reporting. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Waiting order.
Repairing.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Unit ready. Unit repaired. Repairing.
Acknowledged.
On hold. Cancel. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired. Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds. Repairing. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Building.
sir. Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Comrade. Acknowledged.
Unit
Awaiting
repaired.
orders.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Waiting
ready.
order.
Awaiting
Yes, sir.
orders.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Repairing.
Vehicle reporting.
Acknowledged.
Building. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Repairing. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired.
Acknowledged.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Comrade.
Reporting.
Building. Unit repaired.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Affirmative.
Building. Repairing.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Waiting
Yes, sir.
order.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Waiting orders.
Acknowledged.
Lost.
Affirmative.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Report acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Report
Building.
acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Comrade. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting.
Comrade. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Waiting order. Waiting order.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Waiting order.
Unit ready. Building. On hold.
Vehicle reporting.
Cancel.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Comrade. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Unit repaired.
Comrade. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Waiting affirmative. Order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Unit repaired. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Repairing. Naval unit.
Yes, sir.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Comrade, acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired.
Affirmative.
Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Comrade, affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Insufficient funds.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Insufficient
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Comrade, affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
On hold. Cancel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Waiting
Reporting.
order. Acknowledged.
Report. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Waiting affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Waiting
Unit
order.
ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost. Unit ready. Building.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Report acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Report affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Awaiting
ready.
orders.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting orders. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Vehicle report. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Naval unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit mission accomplished.